Don't post about an experience and type out a paragraph on how it felt. I want to hear you talk about it. I want to hear your personal experience. I want to hear the things in your voice that identify you. So my name is Styles McKay, and this is Styles Studios, where I'm going to be giving you my best advice for social media content, coaching and strategy, tips and tricks, and also just how to expand your personal brand through social media content creation. All right, as a content creator myself, I have seen the issues that are going on in today on social media, especially Instagram and things like that, posting on your story. I've been noticing there's a lack of consistency with speaking. And I think there's a barrier of trying to seem a little too cool or typing out an experience. I don't want to read it. Okay, I want to hear you explain it in your own personal statement. So for me, especially when I speak on my story, I get so much more engagement. When I type something out, I get low engagement because, to be honest, no one has the time to read, and they're really not going to get their attention grabbed by seeing some text on a screen. So when you're posting on your story to, of course, grab engagement and, of course, have that consistent flow, don't post about an experience and type out a paragraph on how it felt. I want to hear you talk about it. I want to hear your personal experience. I want to hear the things in your voice that identify you, and hear the things that are going to specify your story on that experience. Because a million people can go to Disneyland and type out, oh, it was fun, it was great, I had such a great time, I waited in line, and honestly the lines weren't bad. But if you tell me physically in your wording of how you naturally talk, because how you type isn't going to be how you naturally talk. So when you naturally talk, there will be just more personality in your experience that's going to make me connect with you through the phone screen and allow me to feel like we're engaged together. There's a friendship happening right now. So the information I'm giving you on spacing out, and I have a hard time with this too sometimes, but I'm going to practice it more and more. But I feel like when I watch people that I know in real life post online, I will never, ever, ever hear their physical voice, because it's either as if they're just a little too afraid or they're nervous to show who they really are. And there's this facade of what an influencer is, that like, oh, I don't have to do this, or I don't need to break out and share my voice's opinion. But the influencers and the content creators who make it big time, they use their physical voice a lot of the times. Otherwise, it's just either like there's just a 1 in a 2% chance that someone didn't, right? But there's a very low risk of that. So when you're really wanting to break through and grow an audience, you really have to connect with them on a level that is who you really are. There was a creator that was filming Get Ready With Me, right? Where they're talking about something else, but they're getting dressed and their personalities coming out. I went to the comments, and one comment stuck out to me and said, "You are my inner monologue to myself." So this person got to connect with the viewer because the way they talk to themselves and share their personality, the viewer felt as if their inner thoughts was like them externally. And how else would you know that without being able to really relate? I feel like we all have a connection when it comes to talking, because we are talking people. We are people who relate through communication. Without communication, I don't know how you feel. And so through the phone, it's hard to feel how someone feels without necessarily, without 100% of hearing how they actually talk. I'm going to practice this more because, and so maybe we can see the effects that I'm talking about here. But there's so many creators that I personally message all the time. Hey, do this. I swear you have such a good voice and a story. We need to hear it. And they respond with some good feedback and thank me for that information, but then they still don't do it. And so I'm kind of putting this video out to, one, speak to them and speak to you and speak to myself on how to engage more with your audience that's already here, and then the other followers will come. As long as you post video talking, it's going to boost your engagement, because I'm going to feel like I'm really getting to know you and not some perfect vision that you want to replicate. I feel like that's super big online right now, is watching people's perfect versions of themselves that they want to portray. So for this right here, I just hit record, put on the microphone, hit record, and was like, I want to talk about this topic. So this is where my brain is rambling, and off the experiences that I'm going off of we need to get more personal with this. So whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or all together, we still need to identify who you are as a person, because no one's like you. And so whenever you identify yourself more, no matter what the niche is, fitness, cooking, video games, all of this, everyone can do the same things, but no one can be you while doing it. And so this is going to identify you more to your audience and find your audience online for social media. So make sure to like the video below if you like these tips, or if this gave you any value. Make sure to comment any questions down below, and I'd love to answer them for you. Remember, this is Styles McKay, and this is Styles Studios, while I create my lifestyle, while I help you create yours at the same time. This is Styles Studios, where imagination to reality is your choice through online content creation, brand strategy, and things like this. So make sure to follow, and I'll see you guys on the next video.